A team for a second time. I'm wondering if you guys look at that as any sort of marking of like, okay, we played really well against them last time. Here are the things we have to do better, and can we do those things better? If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think for any time you're playing, whether it's a playoff game or back-to-back regular season game, whether you won or lost, you know that you're going to up your game. And especially early in the season, teams are still feeling out. It was Washington's first game of the season. We all know how that kind of went for us at home here too. Wasn't our best, and we know they're going to be better. And we know just looking at how they've played the last couple. Since playing us, they've won. They've played two good teams. We knew coming into the season they were a team that made a lot of changes this summer, similar to us, and wanted to, they're trying to win a Stanley Cup just like 31 others. So if we were on the other end where we didn't play our best, we lost the game at home, we know how we'd be coming in. We'd be hungry, we'd be aggressive, we'd be coming with our best foot forward tonight.
What's been the greatest asset as a team that you guys have had that have really limited, a lot of your opponents to so few goals so far?
Just great goaltenders. Everybody else is. I mean, obviously, Mark and Jake have played great. I think our mindset as a team, we all know, we can score goals. We know that we can, offensively, we're going to be able to, we have enough skill to do that. But I think from a defensive standpoint, and especially for us 6D men, we want to put an emphasis on that, of good sticks, blocking shots, making sure we're letting our goalies see the puck. To be known as a team that is hard to play against defensively. So it's only 7 games, but I think we've gotten off to a good start, and we just want to continue with that.
And then you mentioned 7 games. I think a lot of people think of things in terms of like those 10-game increments through. Are you someone who sort of puts stock into that?
A little bit. I definitely try to think about it, and it's only one more game, but I feel like we're playing every second day. So to really get a true glimpse of it, you want to look in 5-10 game segments to see some patterns and see how the team's really playing, because you're going to have an off night every once in a while, but to kind of limit that and not lose 2, not lose 3 in a row. Those type of mindsets I think are positive ones and winning ones. So we're not trying to look too far ahead. We know we basically got a game every other day here to start the year, and hopefully get some more wins and losses.
One of the things, with this locker room, there's so much, young firepower, right? Like a lot of really young, skilled players. But you don't necessarily, the way you guys are playing as a team, have to outscore your opponents at times in terms of or your mistakes, I should say. Yes, your opponents, but not your mistakes. How important is that in terms of a mindset of a team going into any game, not sort of carrying that type of weight?
Well, we want to rely on our structure, not on our our scoring abilities, because you can run into a hot goalie, you can run into a special teams battle. There's so many different ways that games can go at night, and to rely on just don't worry, we'll score 3 this period. Oh, we'll wait till the third period or whatever it is. I think the biggest thing is we know we have that in the back pocket, but we want our emphasis to be on the defensive side. We want our emphasis to be on, if it's a 0-0 game, we're comfortable playing in it as opposed to it having to be a 7-6 or whatever marathon.
Thank you, really appreciate it. Tats, I'm just wondering, early in the season, when you guys, because it's still early, when you're trying to sort of make that continual progress in, sorting out how you guys play, when you're playing a team for a second time in a short amount of time, what bar can you sort of tell from how you guys are improving, regardless of what the results are, when you're playing a similar team?
Yeah, they beat 2 good teams, so obviously it's going to be, again, tough match. It's going to be a different team. We have to be on the top of our game. We had a very good game in Washington, so we still want to improve. We still want to get better. There's a certain areas we are working on in the practices, but we're expecting a hard game. It's going to be 2 good teams playing against each other, and it's going to be a good match.
When you've come back from this road trip, what do you think the biggest jump you guys have taken as a team, maybe in the defensive side of the game, that you've seen right now?
Yeah, I think defensively we were playing well. We're still trying to, create a lot more offense. There are certain areas we can get a lot better and help each other more. That's what we've been working on, and, hopefully we can translate it to the game. It was a hard road trip, a lot of travel, but, I think we managed it. We had a day off, so hopefully we rest up, recharge, and we're going to bring a lot of energy tonight.
And what does that look like when you say, trying to help create a little bit more of that offense? What maybe is that missing piece that you think can generate more than you guys are? Not that you're not. Right?
Yeah, I think we just, we spending not very little time, in ozone. It's kind of one and done. So what are we trying to do? It's going to try to open a lot of different options, so it's just when it's not the shot lane, then we're going to try to create something, or hold on into it, so we can, extend the period of a time in the ozone. A lot of our shots is just, after we shot, it gets either, kicked out or blocked, and we're going out of the way. So we just want to spend more time in ozone. Obviously, that's the fun of hockey. So more time you play in ozone, then less time you're defending, and I feel like everybody's having fun. So we're going to work on it. We want to improve that area, and I think that's a little bit missing in our game right now.
How nice was it to sort of just talk about a long road trip, have yesterday to sort of regroup, and then come back to this full skate?
Yeah, it's been a lot of games. The schedule is very packed. It's not easy, but we have to manage it somehow. So it was good we had a day off. We have to put our minds back into the game and focus on tonight. Like I said, it's a big game, but the day off was nice.
Sheldon, you have a player in Brendan Dillon who's playing his 900th NHL game tonight. I'm wondering what you understood about who he was as a player and his leadership ability before versus now that you have him on your team.
I would say he's met my expectations. From a distance, you make a judgment on a player when you don't know him. I think he's a guy with how he's played and conducted himself in the league that you expect him to be a guy that's going to be team first. He's going to be a competitor at his root, and that's what I've seen right from my very first phone conversation with him, that he is all about the team, that he's focused on winning and doing everything that he can to help the group grow and get to the point that it can challenge to compete with the league's elite. So he has delivered in every area for me here in the early going.
He was undrafted. You had Mark Giordano, also undrafted, played over 1,000 games. What does it take for an undrafted guy to be able to make that kind of impact and have that kind of a career?
I think there's a lot of things that would go in it, but a certain level of mental toughness is required because you got to be able to still continue to A, believe in yourself, B, put the work in, and then C, take the long road and stay with all those things. A lot of guys, don't have the toughness mentally to be able to push through those things and stay with it. And you're essentially starting from the bottom. But again, it just speaks to the character that I just spoke about, and that doesn't just happen once you get in the league. A lot of times that's absolutely ingrained in who you are, and that's why those guys figure it out.
7 games in, so still a small sample. What's the impact you think that he has had on Dougie? What has he enabled Dougie to be able to do? Who's a terrific player in his own right, but just...
Yeah, I think there's just, they formed a good partnership. I think Dilly's talking all the time, on and off the ice, and that helps just, in terms of chemistry and getting used to playing with one another quickly. And then just also style of play. He's going to be there. He's there to, when he needs to. He's going to, look to clean things up defensively and clear pucks away from our net. And, he's a competitor, so he's going to be there and have your back at all moments. So all those kind of things I think help, not just Dougie, but our entire group.
Jesper wasn't out there this morning. Is there an update on him and if he'll play tonight?
Yeah, he's dealing with an illness. He's going to come. He was in the building here this morning and in our meetings. Just felt it was right to not put him on the ice this morning, but he'll be coming to the arena tonight with intentions to play, and we'll make a decision after warm-up.
And status quo with Hughes and Pesce, we saw them out there this morning?
Yeah, status quo in terms of their availability, but obviously it's a positive step here. We haven't, the schedule being what it's been for us, we just haven't had the practice time, so it's a way for us to get them out with the group, despite it being a morning skate type of setting, but to that end, it's just good to get them on the ice with more players, and then they would see in just a rehab skate.
Sheldon, I just wanted to ask you about Simon Nemec and what you've seen in him. To me personally, defensively, he's really grown in that area. What have you seen as his coach this first year?
I think, in the early going, I think he left a lot to be desired, quite honestly. And a lot of that just comes through the urgency, competitiveness, things like that. And, we had talked to him about it and kept talking to him about it and stayed on him. I think in the last few games here, I've seen a great increase in that area, and that's just, that's competitiveness, that's effort level, that's urgency in the situation, all things that the NHL demands. And to me, he's increased his level of competitiveness over the last few games, and just made a dramatic difference in his ability to defend with consistency.
Sheldon, you had Washington a week ago. A lot went right in the second and third period. What do you want to see your team replicate tonight against the Capitals? What went right in that?
Yeah, I thought we it was one of our better games offensively that we've had. So I think part of that was on how we managed the puck and how we made some plays and we were able to access the net. Part of it, I'm sure, was Washington playing their first game at that time. Clearly, they've cleaned things up and responded well since that game, so we're expecting it to be a far different looking Washington team here tonight, no question.
What are some of the ways Eric Halla has contributed, not just with that goal the other night, but with this team?
Another guy, just good personality. He keeps it loose and fun in the room. He likes to have fun with it. Guys have fun with him. There's lots of good back and forth, which I think is just so important for any team, especially early in the season when you're trying to come together. But he's just a versatile player. He's good face-offs on both sides of the ice. He can play center and wing, power play, penalty kill. So as a new coach coming in for myself and trying to, get comfortable with the bench and how to utilize different players, to have a guy who's as versatile and experienced as him, to me, has been valuable.
Have you guys already started discussing and talking about when Pesce and Luke are able to come back to the lineup? What's going to happen with this defense core, like who's in, who's out, that type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it, but we talk about the hypotheticals inside our room. We don't talk about them with the microphones and cameras on.